Namaste, Mahoday.
दसरा महोत्सव भविष्यति तदर्थं केचन जनाः बहिः सन्ति इति उक्तवन्तः। उत्तमम्। ओके महोदय, I think we can start and they will all join in a minute or two. प्रारम्भं कर्तुं शक्यते वा? भवती यदि अनुमति दीयते।
प्रारम्भं कर्तुं शक्यते, किन्तु किञ्चिदपि मया सम्यक् न
भवती सर्वदा अस्तु प्रारम्भं करिष्यामः। I just share my screen. सर्वेभ्यः सुस्वागतम्। प्रार्थनां ध्यान श्लोक प्रारम्भं करिष्यामः। ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिस्फटिकमणिमयीम् अक्षमालां ददाना हस्ते नैकेन पद्मं सितमपि च शुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्खस्फटिकमणिदिभा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं। वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को नयाति पराङ्गतिम्। गोष्पतीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायण महामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं। वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने संस्थितम्। अग्रे वाचेति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परम्। व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै। नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यः नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। हरिः ओम्। सर्वेभ्यः सुस्वागतम्। अस्माभिः सह अद्य हरिप्रिया महोदया अस्ति। सा बहु भाषातज्ञ अपि तु शास्त्र विशारदा। मम भवत्यै मम चरणस्पर्श नमस्काराः कृपया स्वीकरोतु।
धन्यवादः महोदय। अहं यथा भवान् वदति तादृशा न अस्मि, अतः अत्यधिकं मा वदतु इति प्रार्थये।
धन्यवादाः। अस्तु। So from now I'll just speak in English because a few people may be joining who do not have much of Sanskritam background. Yeah. So today as we had decided, we will be starting off with Ramayanam. So the idea is to do the Shatashloki or the Sankshepa Ramayana. That is the first 100 shlokas of Ramayanam, which gives the summary in a gist. It gives the summary of Ramayanam. That is the first sarga of the very first sarga of Srimad Valmiki Ramayanam. Okay, we'll do all the 100 shlokas. That we will start from the next class. Today is the inaugural session, given it is Dasara and it was a very good auspicious occasion. So that's why I have invited Srimati Haripriya Kidambi Mahodaya. She has kindly agreed to come and do the introduction for us. So what we will do for today is, and that the sessions from next week onwards also anybody can attend. It's just about all the Ramayana 100 shlokas. We'll do the Vyakarna, Vishleshna, everything. Each and every shloka we'll be doing over the next 6 months. Okay, as part of Lataa. For today, what we will do is something simple. For the first 10 minutes or so, I'll just set the context of what is Ramayana and where does it fit into our scheme of knowledge systems, and how is Ramayana the most very important grantha or itihasa for us. Okay. Once I'm done with that, I don't want to showcase too much of my ignorance in front of Shastra Visharada here. So I will just stop there. Then we will proceed with Haripriya Mahodaya's lecture today. Okay.
So you want to pass it on to me?
No.
who is more ignorant? That will be
So let me start with okay. So in our Indian scheme of things, whenever somebody went to learn something, that is as a student, if somebody went, and I mean, irrespective of where he's coming from, what it is in a Gurukula, there would be what is called, he would, for the 12 years, that student would learn what is called Chaturdasha Vidya Sthanani. Chaturdasha Vidya. That is, these 14 things were essentially taught to that person, that student. Okay. So what were these? Vedas and the Upavedas. That is the first thing. All the Vedas, that is the Rig Veda, these form the important Veda. So I'll explain how these sort of fit in the modern day context and how do I draw a comparison. I'll just talk about it in a minute. To understand the Vedas and the Upavedas, you needed a set of things. So look at it as something like sort of Vedas are something like a set of axioms in a mathematical sense. Cardinal rules, they are present, they are ever present. Ananto vai Vedaha, there are infinite of them and they are always there. They are the axiomatic statements. That is the basic requirement of these. That is the basic thing that is there. To understand these, you need certain tools and techniques. Right? It can't be just that, another way of looking at it is look at it as the core constitution of a given country or a given organization. Okay. That constitution has certain basic principles, guidelines, all such things. Vedas would form that. Now, to understand that, there will be certain requirements to understand the technicalities. That is given by these, what are called the Vedanga. That is Shiksha, Vyakarna, Nirukta, Chandas, Jyotisha, Kalpa. I can get into each of these, but I don't want to take too much time in explaining these. Essentially, to give a simple example, in the Constitution of India, we have two terms, shall and may. This shall be done. If you say that, that's a legal statement. If you say this will be done, that will is not a legal statement. Okay. Similarly, this may be done is a legal statement. This can be done is not a legal statement. The can and may. You see? So similarly, we have certain rules and definitions for each of these things here, based on how these should be interpreted and how these should be taken up. So these form the part of the Shiksha, Vyakarna, Nirukta, Chandas, Jyotisha, Kalpa. Shiksha is basically pronunciation. Vyakarna is Vyakarna, that is how to join the Varna Vishesha, Sandhi, Samasa, all those things. Nirukta is the meaning, how to get the meaning out of a particular word in the Vedas. So that's where Yaskracharya's Nirukta is to be used here. All these things come in very importantly. Okay, I'll not get too much into it. Someday we can discuss it in detail. Okay. Then there are certain things called the Shad Darshanas. These are basically, if you want to get into the Jnana Kanda and get into a detailed doctorate on certain things, then this is what everybody, one of these will be something everybody will be following. Other than that, you can get into a detailed discussion on all these things. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Along with this, there is what is called Dharma Shastras. That is, there are sutras which are given by Apasthampa Sutra, then Bodhayana Sutra, Ashvalayana Sutra. All these things are how these Vedas have to be put into practice. That is the Karma Kanda part. Okay. So these form the essentials of the Vidya. Along with this Dharma Shastra, this is where the Vedas will sort of come in, And then once you have a constitution, you can't just have a constitution. You need to come to it to say the bare act, then the bills, and then how to put it in practice. If you put it in practice, what will go wrong? So on and so forth. So that to some extent first is given by the Dharma Shastras. How to put it into practice. Okay. Then you have Smriti. The Smritis give a set of detailed way how to put it into practice in day-to-day life. That is where Smritis come in. Purana and Itihasa tells you what will happen if you put these into practice and how these will lead you, where they will lead you. So this is where the whole thing stands. I'll just, in a minute, I'll distinguish between what are Puranas and Itihasa. So these are the set of things that anybody would sort of learn in the first 12 years and then come out of any school of thought. Now, if you ask me where is mathematics in this, where is, physics in this, etc., 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 a lot of these, we did not have a way of compartmentalizing knowledge in the modern scheme of things. They are very differently done. That was done. For instance, a lot of mathematics will come in Jyotisha and Kalpa. A lot of physics and mathematics comes here. A lot of Sahitya will come in the Shiksha, Chandas, etc. A lot of etymology, Vyakarna, rules of Vyakarna will come in these places. Similarly, how do you develop a thought process? That comes through all these Shat Darshanas. What are the kind of thought processes that I should have and what will lead me to a right path? That comes through the Shat Darshanas. These are sort of guidelines as to how to put them in practice in a day-to-day life. Okay. So now, where does this come? Where does Ramayana and Mahabharata come? They come in this concept of Itihasa. Two Itihasas. Now, there is a difference between Purana and Itihasa. Why it is so, I'll just talk in a minute in the next slide. Ramayana and Mahabharata is given this sort of importance. If you look at this, you do not have any of the Kalidasa Granthas or Magha, Bhasa. We have so much of literature. This is the quintessential thing. Not that that is not to be read. But these are something like the quintessential to lead a life. After that, they come up. So the pride of place. For instance, there is Raghuvamsha given of Kalidasa. Right. So, but still Ramayanam is given the higher importance in our scheme of things, and that is to be taken as a very, very critical thing. This is like anybody going through basic elementary education, Right to Education Act, so-called Right to Education Act, that covers Ramayana and Mahabharata. That is the kind of importance, the place that is given in our country. Okay. So what is first and foremost, I'll talk about what is Ramayana later. But what is the difference between Itihasa and Purana? Let's look at it. So what is Purana? It comes from Pura Bhavati Athva Puraniyate. Pura api Navaiti. That's another way of looking at it. They are a set of stories. Now these set of stories are, if you start asking a question, is it always true? Is it going to be always true? If you ask me that, there's a story of Chandra having 27 wives, Rohini being the closest to him, and then he was cursed by the star's father and all those things. That's a good story to understand. But there's a very, very deep principle behind it. If you look at, I'm just giving one example here, all these stories will come out that way. It's like looking at a series, TV series or anything where you say, okay, Tom is following Jerry, so how can they talk? How can animals talk, etc., etc., etc. But the point is, in the case of, say, the nakshatra with Chandra, if you look at a 3-year cycle, you will see that Rohini nakshatra appears more than any other nakshatra in the lunar cycle. And that's a very given fact. Now, for that, there is a correction which comes about because that is the curse part. Now, it is not easy to explain everything to a very mathematical and a very sidereal way of explaining things. So, they've created some stories and very, very beautifully put out. There are many more stories like this. Arundhati and Vasishta is another classic example. Okay. Now, Puranas have Pancha Lakshana. They are very, very important. That is always there. The Dasha Lakshana. But at least these 5 should always be there. One is Sarga and Pratisarga. That is the creation and the dissolution of the universe. Each Purana will explain it in its own nice fashion. How the creation happened and how the dissolution of the universe ever happens. Vamsha, that is the Vamsha of the lineage of the characters that is coming up. Then the Manvantara, that is the time, the concept of time. For instance, Bhagavata gives a very detailed description of the yugas and the Brahma Yuga, and then the time of Brahma Yuga, and so on and so forth. Then Vamsha Charitam, Vamshanucharitam, that is the lineage characteristics of a given lineage. They were valorous, they were doing this, they were this pious, so on and so forth. There are certain characteristics, typical characteristics of every lineage, and these are very clearly explained. Now, the difference between Purana and Itihasa is that Itihasa is Iti Asid. Purva Charita Pratipadaka Grantha. Something that happened in the past at some point in time. Very clearly. This is something that has to have happened. Okay. Now, that is very clearly documentation of that is what is Itihasa given to us. These will have very clear understanding of Dharmartha Kama Mokshanu Padesha. It is mixed with these Chatur Purushartha. All the four Purusharthas are very clearly detailed out. Even in Ramayana, it very clearly, Valmiki just keeps on popping up what is Dharma, what is not Dharma, what is right, what is not right, what is going on, what is not to be going on. He brings these out very, very clearly. It is full of stories, Itihasam Prachakshate. It shows, for instance, if you read Ramayanam, it is very clear. Valmiki's Ramayanam, it is full of emotions, rasa, and it is full of, it is a very detailed story with a lot of Kavya Saundarya, Alankara, and Prakriti Saundarya, everything comes up. However, in Mahabharata, it is a little different. It is as it happened, I am just narrating it to you. Every single part that comes up there. This is the etymology. Itihasa, that is the etymology. We'll not get into that part. But this is the key difference. Something that has actually happened and that is narrated to us is the Itihasa. Purana is something that is a set of stories that give us ideas and ways to react in a given situation for us. So these are the two things that are very much there. So based on this, what is Ramayanam? Ramasya Ayanam is Ramayanam. Okay. Simple thing, if you look at what does Ayanam mean? Rama's Ayanam. If you add a lit pratyaya to I, it becomes Ayanam. So that is the movement of Ramayana, Rama, if I were to crudely put it. But what is it really so? What is it really saying? Is it just about movement, etc., etc.? I'll explain in the next class sometime how it is only about movement, because if you look at up to the Yuddha Kanda, it's about 534 sargas. And out of that 480 sargas, Rama is nowhere in Ayodhya, is mostly in the forest. Even in the Balakanda, Vishwamitra takes him away. Then starting Yuddha Kanda, about 34th sarga or something, he is always in the forest until he returns back to Chitrakuta in Nandigrama, Chitrakuta in the end of Yuddha Kanda. That is one part. That is a crude part of it. But what does Ayanam really mean? If you look at it, Yat Ayanam Dasharathim Sri Ramam Maryada Purushottamaya Sri Ramaya Parivartitam Tat Ayaniyam Srimad Ramayanam. So if I had to put it, it's a journey or a sojourn which transformed. Dasharatha was born as, Sri Rama was born as Dasharatha's son. Now to call him Sri Rama and Maryada Purushottama Sri Rama, technically there is something that he had to prove himself. So this is a very important thing in our scheme of things. Even if you look at the Ikshvaku Kula, it's a great, each king in that can come up, can have a story, you can write a biography of the king. There is Kakusta, there is Yayati, there is Nahusha, there is Dilipa, there is Bhagiratha. Each of them had a great life, great biography. They all contributed something or the other. Rama was born in that sort of a kula. Even if he was born in that sort of a kula with a silver spoon in mouth, if we were to put it in the modern day terms, there is no way that you get everything on a platter. Even when Dashratha discusses the ascension plan before in the Ayodhya Kanda, before that Rama has gone through a lot of journey with Vishwamitra and actually destroyed Tadaka, and that is where he brings his whole this one of valor and says yes, he is fit to rule the kingdom. So first thing you need to prove that for yourself. You may be born as Dashratha's son, but that matters little when it comes to really transforming yourself to a Maryada Purushottama Sri Rama. It is full of Dharma. Dharmo Vigrahavan Ramaha is what is said. So we'll discuss all those things in later, right? So this is where Ramayana stands, and this is that journey. What is Ramayana? It is the journey that transformed Sri Rama from Dashratha's son to Maryada Purushottama Sri Rama, eligible and really valorous to take charge of the kingdom and proving himself to the world. So with this, I will just stop. What Haripriya Mahodaya is going to do now is, she is going to talk about Ramayanam, how it has survived the onslaught and what are the various things that is there as Ramayanam, and how we live Ramayana in our day-to-day life, various forms of Ramayana. Okay, let me just take a minute to formally introduce Haripriya Mahodaya. She does not need much introduction, frankly, to this audience at least. So Haripriya Mahodaya is a scholar. She's a Samskrita Vidushi. She has specialized in Kavya Shastra and Alankara Shastra, and she teaches lots of courses this year as well. And more importantly, she also does Ramayanam. Every single shloka of Ramayana she is putting out and elaborating the Dharma, the Shastra behind it, the importance behind it on a day-to-day basis. Currently, she is doing the Aranya Kanda. But what I really respect about her and really have a great respect for her is her commitment to the Bhasha. I remember she was not in India for a while, and she was for a long time. And she used to start her classes at 4 a.m. in the morning so that people in India can sit at 6:30 and listen to her classes. Probably one of the very few teachers who would say, okay, my students need to be better off than everybody else. That means she had to probably wake up at 3 and do things. So, Namaskara Mahodaya. Thank you for accepting. Please, I will just leave the stage to you now.
Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. Actually, the way Karthik Mahodaya is saying, nothing of that sort. What I am doing is, actually I started only to pass time. So that way, these people have become victims actually. That's what I have to say. Anyhow, regarding Ramayanam, I find Ramayanam very interesting because at each and every step of our life, we find very how to take a decision that it helps in deciding things without harming others. That is what I have understood in Ramayanam. So let us begin. Mahodaya, I have some shlokas. Of course, they are from Ramayanam only. Hope I can share them here.
You can. I think you can share the screen. I think you are given the. I think you should be able to share.
No, it's not there. Huh?
Okay, I made you the co-host now. You should be able to share.
So, Namaskarbhyah. Pujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. Valmiki, Rishi Valmiki, is recognized as Adikavi. Before Valmiki, there might have been some poets and some kavyas, but Valmiki Rishi gave us a full-fledged kavyam with beautiful chandas, idioms, alankaras, and a beautiful path of dharma to lead our life. That's why Rishi Valmiki's Ramayanam is very much important for us. He is considered as Kavi Kokila. Kokila is a cuckoo bird. It is very rarely seen actually. We can only hear its beautiful voice during Vasanta Kala or spring season. And what Valmiki Rishi does is he doesn't appear much in Ramayana. Only very few instances we can see his presence. Then the essence of Ramayana is ever living in the memory of Indians. India is a country divided on the basis of so many aspects like tradition, language, culture, religion, faith, practices, whatever may be. There is so much of variety in our commitment towards the well-being of others. The only binding force is one is Ramayanam and the other one is Mahabharatam. When we used to watch Ramayanam and Mahabharatam on Doordarshan some 25 or 30 years ago, entire nation would come to a standstill, which means people love Ramayanam for the dharmic aspect represented by Rama and how we need to conduct ourselves in our day-to-day life. And when the Bhumi Puja was done for the Ram temple at Ayodhya, that also was watched by several crores of people. So people still, there is a lot of importance for Ramayanam and Sri Rama as a Maryada Purusha or Adarsha Purusha, whatever you want to call him, that is still existing in our lives. And all these are happening because many events of Ramayana are relevant even today. Family life in our country is a very deep and most important aspect. When the entire world experienced a lot of disturbance due to economic meltdown or during the Corona period, India survived everything because of the unit called family. And people keep struggling to keep their families happy. That is seen, that is very much important in the Indian tradition. Ramayanam lays a lot of emphasis on family unity, relationships like brothers, sisters, parents and children, And then husband wife, that is also very well depicted in Ramayana. And when Bharata starts to when Bharata goes to forest to bring back Rama, who has already been exiled, and Bharata wants to bring back Rama, he takes all the people, all the family members go along with him, like Kausalya, Sumitra. Kaikeyi is also, though Kaikeyi is responsible for the entire destruction, she is forgiven. That forgiveness is beautifully depicted in Ramayanam. And these women, these queens, they all the three of them travel in the same vehicle, actually, same Ratha. They don't say, so Kausalya or Sumitra, they do not say that because of you, we have suffered, so please don't come along with us. They are able to take her also along with them. That kind of beautiful family system we have been continuing to have in our tradition. Maybe nowadays it's a bit changed. Then Rishi Valmiki, he is a lover of nature. When he goes to take bath, he is able to look around. He sees so many beautiful birds chirping. There are beautiful flowers with a lot of fragrance. Then there are streams flowing, and he is able to enjoy everything, or every moment of his life he is able to relish. And here he says, when he sees the waters of this Tamasa river, he says to his disciple Bharadwaja, Akardamamidam tirtham Bharadwaja nishamaya Ramaniyam prasannambu sanmanushya mano yatha. So here he is saying that the beautiful water is flowing and it is so crystal clear. He says, Ramaniyam prasannambu. This water is so giving so much of happiness to me. Sanmanushya manoyatha. When we are with good people with good conduct, they give us a lot of happiness. Same way, this water, this Tamasa river is giving so much of happiness to me. At that time, he is looking all around. At that time, what happens? There is a Krauncha pair. Krauncha is crane, you can say, a type of crane. They are playing, roaming around happily. They are making beautiful sounds. Tasyabhyase tu mithunam charantam anapayinam dadarsha bhagavan tatra kraunchayo charunisvanam. So the krauncha birds, they are making sounds, they are enjoying. That pair he is watching. Here we have to appreciate that Rishi Valmiki had the knowledge of music also. They say Krauncha Kvanati Madhyamam. So music has 7 notes. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa. Ma is Madhyama. Sa is Shadja. Ri is Rishabha. Ga is Gandhara. So this Valmiki Rishi, he had a lot of knowledge and about music, and he says Krauncha Kvanati Madhyamam. This Krauncha Pakshi, the sound, how it is making sound, it is in the Madhyamaswara. At that time, what happened? And most of the, if you look at the great poets, most of them have great knowledge of music also. And when Valmiki Rishi and his disciple Bharadwaja, they are watching around, they are enjoying. That time, suddenly a hunter appears and shoots an arrow at the male bird. So the male bird is hurt, it falls down, and the female bird starts crying. Tam shonita paritangam veshtamanam mahitale bharyatu nihatam drashtva rurava karunam giram. So the female bird is terrified to look at her companion suffering in that with that wound caused by the hunter, and she is crying terribly. At that time, what happens? Valmiki Rishi, he also feels so sad. Here, the difference between normal human beings being sad and a rishi being sad, and among the rishis also, muneha kopaha shaparupena parivartate, kaveha shokaha kavyarupena pravahati. So here he is sad. He is not angry. He is sad because their happiness is destroyed. Actually, they have not anapayinam. The birds, they have not done any harm to anybody. They, on their own, they were enjoying their time. At that time, they are attacked. Their life is destroyed. At that time, Valmiki Rishi feels so sad that the shoka, his shoka, transforms into shloka. So, shokaha shlokatvam agataha. So, what happens if it is normal shoka? If like us, we keep crying or we keep lamenting, we keep complaining.
And everybody please mute. Please be muted. Everybody please be muted.
Yeah. So what happens here, if we look at Anandavardhanacharya's Dvanyaloka, he says, Kavyasyatma sa evarthaha tatha cha adikavehe pura Krauncha dvandva viyogothaha shokaha shlokatvam agataha. The Krauncha.
Shanta is speaking.
Shanta madam, please be muted. Don't unmute yourself.
This Kavyasya Atma. So, entire Ramayanam is based on Karunarasa, and this Kavyasya Atma, what is the Atma of a Kavya? So he says, Anandavardhanacharya says, Kavehe Krauncha Dvandva Viyogothaha, the Shoka born out of the Krauncha Dvandva Viyoga is transformed into Shloka. There, Valmiki Rishi starts saying, Ma nishada pratishtham tvamagamaha shashvati samaha yat krauncha mithunadekam avadhihi kamamohitam. So, that way, Valmiki Rishi, he felt sad that he is talking bad about that hunter. Brahma comes there and pacifies him and says, please don't worry, you have set the step, you have taken a step to compose Ramayanam. So please continue, don't worry. And Brahmadeva sends Saraswati Devi to help him in narrating Ramayanam. So what happens whenever there is a celebration? What we do is we involve so many people. Whether it is a celebration at home, it is a temple festival, or some other occasion, we involve a lot of people around us. It may be relatives or friends or neighbors, everybody. So Lava and Kusha, when they appear in front of Rama to narrate Ramayanam, they are talking about how the kingdom was. Actually, they don't know who Rama is. Their own father, they don't know. But they start saying, like, the Ayodhya had beautiful houses, buildings. Buildings were constructed beautifully, and the people were happy. People were there were no beggars. All such descriptions come, and here they say the king had a council of ministers, and the ministers were in good. The ministers would consult each other, and they would not try to destroy others. All the ministers together take a decision and convey that to the king. That kind of atmosphere. It was a teamwork, you can say. So teamwork succeeds when there is everybody cooperates. That kind of system was there in during the Ramayana period. And then when we go to this Dasharatha performing Ashwamedha and then Putrakameshti Yaga, what happens is he entrusts the responsibility to foresee the arrangements to Vasishtha Rishi. Here also, what happens, the Vasishtha Rishi, again, he is asking Sumantra to call different, like carpenters or mason or anybody who is whatever is required for arranging things. He entrusts all the concerned persons, all the responsibilities, and then again he would not give up. Okay, anyhow, I have told him, he will take care of it. Not like that. Again, in the evening, they will come and report to him whatever progress they have made during the day. So that kind of follow-up system was there during the Ramayana time. And also, what happens in general, those so-called Vidvamsas, they have the habit of looking for doshas or mistakes in others. So there is a saying, Chidram Mrigayante Vidvamsaha Brahma Rakshasaha. So Amarakosha says, Vidvan Vipaschit Doshagnaha. Amarakosha is a book of synonyms. So it is saying Vidvan, he may be a Vidvan, but he is a Doshagnya. He keeps looking at the mistakes or blunders committed by others instead of correcting his own self. It's, of course, there are good scholars also who don't look at others. They try to do corrections in their own lives. That is also there. Then when uh, Rama and Lakshmana, they are taken to this Siddhashrama. This is a place where Tataka Rakshasi, a demoness, she is giving a lot of trouble to all the rishis there. She is not allowing those people to do their yajnas or homas or their daily practices. She is creating so much of nuisance, and all those rishis come and request Rishi Vishwamitra to help them to get rid of her. So what happens here? Vishwamitra Rishi asks Rama to kill her. So Rama is not happy. He thinks, oh, what is this? She is a woman. How can I kill her? So Vishwamitra says, Nrishamsam anrishamsam va prajarakshana karanat pavanam va adosham va kartavyam rakshata sada. See, you are a king, you are a kshatriya. You cannot think, oh, how can I kill her? How can I kill him? No, a king doesn't have any, he cannot think of good or bad, or cruel or mild, or wrong or right, nothing. He has to work for his subjects. It is his duty to work for his subjects, and no sin will should be considered when he is to work for, he is to bring that good for the entire society. So by saying so, he asks Rama to take care of this, to get rid of her, this Tataka. Then, and he also says this Siddhashrama was a flourishing state once upon a time. Because of these Rakshasas, it has lost its glory. So it is your duty as a king to bring back that glory. Then this rule applies to any ruler or any head of the state, any PM or president or whatever. It is the duty of such a person who is holding that high position to take care of the welfare of the subjects. Welfare of the subjects should be the topmost priority. That is what is depicted in Ramayana. Then, when we look at the Sita Parinaya, so Vishwamitra Rishi takes Rama and Lakshmana to Mithila. And how these cities were constructed means, most of the cities, they would have a upavana surrounding the cities, so that the greenery is maintained, people are having fresh air, and everybody is living with a good health. So there is one upavana near Mithila. So Rama, by looking at the upavana, there is nobody in that upavana, and he is surprised. Why there is nobody here? So he asks, Kasya ashramamidam nirjanam munivarjitam. If it is a vana, automatically there should be munis, rishis. Why this vana is empty? So Vishwamitra says, Diyama. So what happens is, Vishwamitra says, this was Gautama was a rishi. So his wife Ahalya was there. due to some curse, she became a stone, and it is time for you to bring her back to her original state. So what happened? Rama takes care of her, and she is brought back to her original self. And then Rama and Lakshmana go along with Vishwamitra to Mithila. There, there is a priest, Shatananda. He is the son of this Gautama and Ahalya. So he asks Vishwamitra, has Rama visited the Siddhashrama and not Siddhashrama, has Rama visited my parents' ashrama, and has my mother served him properly? So Vishwamitra says, everything is taken care of. So that means your family is brought back to live together, and your father also has forgiven your mother. Then what happens? The next is this Sita Parinaya. That time Rama he has broken this Shiva Dhanu, and he is eligible to marry Sita. So immediately after the Dhanur Bhanga, Janaka comes to offer his daughter to Rama, but Rama says, please wait, because I have to take my father's permission. Actually, for Kshatriyas, there is no rule that they have to take the permission of their parents. Once they win in the Swayamvara, they can take the newlywed girl along with them. But here Rama shows what is Dharma. There Gautama and Ahalya, they are united. He has united a family actually there. And here he follows Dharma and says, I need to wait for my father's approval. Then messengers are sent, and they come to Dasharatha, and there also Dasharatha, he did not immediately say, okay, let us proceed, let Rama proceed. He consults his ministers again. Is this alliance good for us? So the ministers, they within a short span of time, they are able to decide that it's a very good alliance. And because what happens is the eastern part of Ayodhya will be secured if this alliance is, if they proceed with this alliance. And Janaka and Dasharatha comes to Mithila along with his family. So what happens? Vasishtha Rishi also comes along with him, and Vishwamitra anyhow was there. These two Brahmarshis, they decide that the remaining sons of Dasharatha should also be married. So there is Urmila, who is also the daughter of Janaka, and Janaka has a brother. Sankashya is a place a bit far away from Mithila. So what happens is Janaka invites his brother, and that brother, Kushadhwaja, he has two daughters, Mandavi and Shrutaki. So he says, let us marry these girls, all these girls to these brothers. Thus, Sita, Urmila, Mandavi and Shrutakirti, they all grew up together in the same family. And this Sankashya also, how that was given to this Kushadhwaja, that is also mentioned in Ramayana. So what happened next? Vishwamitra says this Rama belongs to Surya Vamsha, Janaka belongs to Chandra Vamsha. Let these great lineages get into a relationship. Vasishtha says, I solicit the hands of Sita and Urmila for Rama and Lakshmana. And Vishwamitra says, I solicit the hands of Mandavi and Shrutakirti for Bharata and Shatrughna. Thus, Vishwamitra has brought Rama and Lakshmana, and Vasishtha solicits Sita and Urmila's marriage to Rama and Lakshmana. Thus, the Brahmarshis have played a great role in the lives of Rama and Lakshmana. And all this happened because there is a hidden aspect here. When they married, and the age difference between Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna is not much. They are a day or half a day, like that, the difference, age difference. So any time a dispute may arise for the crown. But the brothers are united. What about the daughters-in-law? When the daughters-in-law are also united, then only the kingdom will survive. That is what was the main contribution by the Brahmarshis. Then Rama has Rama's crowning has to take place. That time what happened? Dasharatha acts in haste. He doesn't consult his queens. He directly discusses with his ministers and Rishi Vasishtha and decides that Rama needs to be crowned. What happened? His delay in conveying the message to Kaikeyi brought down so much of calamity. And Rama and Sita are asked to stay without food. They are asked to fast, as they have to become the crown prince and crown his wife. So what happened? For 24 hours they have fasted, and Agnihotra also has taken place, the regular daily ritual which Rama used to do. That also is over. In a few hours he has to be crowned. At that time calamity strikes, and he is summoned by Dasharatha, summoned to Dasharatha's palace, and he hears that he needs to be banished to the forest. So if we observe Dasharatha's predicament here, it feels so sorry actually. He has suddenly disappointed his son by not making him the crown prince, and at the same time the son has not had food for 24 hours, and he has to go to the forest for no fault of his. So Dasharatha, his agony is immeasurable here. More than Rama, Dasharatha's agony is immeasurable. He has a broken heart now. So he says, my son, please stay for today. Please have some food. I'll ask the people, I'll instruct the people, cooks, to prepare the choicest of delicacies. Please have some food and then leave. But what Rama says is really magnanimous. Prapsyami yan adya gunan omeshvastan pradasyati. So Rama says, who will give me the merit of propriety? I earn today. See, here I want to depart today because my manas is such a chanchala. Manas is all the time, it is continuously thinking of something or the other. So what happens if I delay till tomorrow? Maybe my mind will change. And here many poets, they observe that Kaikeyi has no right over Rama. First of all, she is not his mother. Or Dasharatha has not consulted his ministers while sending Rama, while asking Rama to go to forest. And anybody else would have rebelled at such a thought and said, why do you want me to go to forest? You yourself go, or you send Bharata, you send some other person. Like that, people would have argued. But Rama, he has no such thoughts, and he says, Prapsyami anadya gunan homeshwastan pradasyati. Many times when we want to do charity, we want to give some money to somebody, maybe some 10,000 rupees. When we are taking out the money from the Almirah, we may think, okay, we will give this to that person who is waiting outside. So what we do, when we come to the dining room, it becomes 5,000. Why 10,000 rupees? Let us give 5,000 rupees. When we come to the front sitting room, living room, then it becomes 500 rupees. Then when we go out, that time we feel, oh, why should I give 500? It's a waste. Nothing can be done with 500 rupees, and we come back with all the 10,000 rupees. That kind of fickle-mindedness people have. So Rama, he shows, when you have to do something right, do it immediately. Don't delay. That is what is shown in Ramayana. And there is this, if we refer to this Bhagavad Gita shloka, Arjuna is asking, Chanchalam hi manah kritva Krishna. So how mind is so terribly fickle, and how it plays games with us. Then Dharma, if somebody wants to practice Dharma, how he should do? Ajaramaravat prajnaha vidyam arthancha sadhayet grihita iva kesheshu mrutyuna dharmam achare. So if somebody wants to acquire knowledge, or somebody wants to earn money, how they should do? Ajaramaravat prajnaha. I don't have any last days. I am eternal. That kind of attitude should be there. Till your last moment, keep on working to acquire knowledge, to acquire money. But when you want to practice dharma, that happens with grihitaiva kesheshu mrutyuna. Mrityu has caught hold of your hair. He is going to drag you like that. There is a hurry to do the dharma. That kind of attitude people should have. So Ramayana teaches us dharma in so many aspects. And then here what happens, when Rama is going to the forest, all the people of Ayodhya, they are running after him. They also want to go along with him. They also want to stay in the forest. But Rama says to his minister, he doesn't tell them anything. He keeps telling them to go back, but they are not going. They are not listening. They say, we want to be with you. So when they are all sleeping, that time Rama says, apakramanameva. Then paurahi atma kritat dukhat vipramochya nripatmajaihi natu khalu atmana yojya dukkhena puravasinaha. A king needs to take all the difficulty of his subjects upon himself, and he should keep them away from his personal problems. So, yam palayasi dharmam tvam. Here what happens when he is going to the forest, Kausalya, she also wants to go along with him. So he says, no, Amma, you cannot come. You have to take care of father. What will he do without you? So there is dharma as a wife to you to take care of my father. As a wife, you have to take care of him. As a son, I have to obey his orders. Dharma is different for you and different for me. So each and every person is shown how he should follow his dharma. Yam palayasi dharmam tvam dhrutya cha niyamena cha savai raghava shardula dharma tvam abhirakshatu. So the mother Kausalya, she is saying, oh Raghava, Shardula, let the dharma which you are holding so tight and you are following it so strictly, let that dharma take care of you. And we have this Subhashita, quite popular Subhashita, dharmasya phalamichanti dharmam na ichanti manavaha na papa phalamichanti papam kurvanti yatnataha. So people want the fruits of dharma, but they don't want to practice dharma. Wherever applicable, they are ready to do a lot of papa with effort. Actually, they are so busy in harming others, in troubling others, giving all sorts of disrespect to others. All such things are people do it deliberately, but the results of that papa they don't want. Results of sin they want to avoid, but that is not workable actually. And in the end, how Sita Devi behaves. Actually, all the time we are talking about Rama. Let us talk how Sita behaves with Ravana. Ravana has kept her captive in Lanka. There he keeps on pestering her to marry him. Piba vihara ramasva bhungshva bhogan dhana nichayam pradishami medini cha mai lalalalane yatha sukham tvam tvai cha sametya lalantu bandhavaste. I'll give you a lot of money, you enjoy, you give the whatever treasures I give you, you can share it with your relatives also. He's so arrogant. And that time, Sita Devi, she's so strong and she has a lot of patience. The greatness of Sita Devi is her patience. She will behave like a mother. She will not answer him with anger or anything. She takes a blade of grass. So, Trinam antaratah krutva pratyuvacha shuchismita. So, shanaihi vachaha. She will talk very with a lot of patience to Ravana. And here, when you look at the grass, many poets have come up with beautiful ideas actually. It conveys many feelings actually. It might be, okay, I can give you this asana, this trinasanam, you sit on this. Or she may have conveyed, okay, I don't want to talk to you. Or your wealth is like grass to me. I don't have any interest in your wealth. I don't run behind material objects. And then she also might be praying to Rama to use that blade of grass as an astra to destroy Ravana. So that kind of thought process many poets have brought about with Ramayanam. And when you look at some of the compositions of great poets or great saints, Purandara Dasa is a famous saint poet of Carnatic music. He says, Ramanama Payasake. Ramanama Payasake. Krishna Nama Sakare. Vithala Nama Tupava Kalasibaya Chapari Siro. So he says, Ramanama Payasa. Payasam is kheer, what you call in Hindi, Kshiranam. This Ramanama itself is a Payasa. To that Payasa, add Krishna Nama Sakkare. Sakkare is sugar, Shakara. You add the Krishna Nama sugar to Ramanama Payasa, and then Vithala Nama Tuppa. This Tuppa is ghee. This Vithala, if you say Vithala, it is ghee. That ghee, add that ghee to the Payasa, that Ramanama Payasa, and add sugar, Krishna Nama sugar, Vithala Nama ghee, and enjoy, relish your Payasa. Baya Chappa, Bayi is mouth. Enjoy what you are having. That means don't use your mouth for any useless purposes. And we have this Tyagaraja Swami, who was a great devotee of Sri Rama, in a beautiful composition called Banturiti Kolu. He says, please give me the post of guard. Let me be the guard of Rama. Banturiti Kolu Ivavaya Rama. And we have many Ramayanams in regional languages like Ramcharitmanas, Kamba Ramayanam, and many poets of modern day have written so much about Ramayana, and the Dharma aspect is very well handled by all of them. And it is our duty to nurture this great treasure and read Ramayana every day without a break and understand the finer nuances of the epic poem. I hope I have bored you all enough. So let us wind up. I'll sing only one Pibare Ramarasam and complete this. Sadashiva Brahmendra. Sadashiva Brahmendra was a great composer. He has composed this Ramanama Payasa, Pibare Ramarasam. It's a beautiful composition. Let us enjoy that and wind up. Pibare Ramarasam, Pibare Ramarasam, Rasane, Pibare Ramarasam, Pibare Ramarasam, Rasam. Janana Marana Bhaya Shoka Viduram Janana Marana Bhaya Shoka Viduram Sakala Shastra Nigama Gama Saram Janana Marana Bhaya Shoka Viduram Sakala Shastra Nigama Gama Saram Pibare Rama Rasam Shuddha Paramahamsa Ashramagitam Shuddha Paramahamsa Ashramagitam Shuka Shaunaka Kaushika Mukha Pitam Shuddha Paramahamsa Ashramagitam Shuka Shaunaka Kaushika Mukha Pitam Pibare Ramarasam Rasane Pibare Rama Rasam Pibare Rama Rasam Rasam Rama Rasam
I think we have some.
Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. I think I have bored everybody enough.
No. Dhanyavadaha. Maybe we can take a couple of questions if anybody is interested. We can then wind up with that. If there are no questions, that's okay. Thank you so much. Mahodaya Bhava Dhanyavadaha Bhavati Agatavati. I know you are very busy with a lot of other things, including your Dasara celebrations. Yeah.
Mahodaya, dinner for me, Ramarasam, I had. I enjoyed thoroughly.
Thank you. Astu.
Dhanyavadaha. So next class will meet on next Thursday again. Everybody is welcome to attend Ramayanam. I don't think that we will restrict it to Lataa students or these students or that students. Anybody and everybody whoever is interested in doing learning the Shatashloki, that is the first 100 shlokas, which is the summary of the Ramayanam. It is more than welcome. We'll do it shloka by shloka in detail. As per that, I think I've already said we'll do it by the Rashtriya Samskrita Samsthan book. That has a very good this one of Padacheda, Pratipadartham, etc. We'll do everything and come. So everybody is welcome. So with that, I think I'll just do the Mangalam Karishyami Mahodaya. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithivi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Shobharahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Aputra Putrinas Santu Pautrinaha Adhanat Sadhanat Santu Jivantu Sharadam Shatam Shrunvan Ramayanam Bhaktya Sayati Padamevava Sayati Brahmanasthanam Brahmana Pujyate Sada Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Shri Ramachandra Arpanamastu Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha Sarvebhyah. Please enjoy Ramarasam along with Kartik Mahodaya and please give us feedback how you feel about the divine qualities of Sri Rama. And there are, unlike Mahabharata, here you come across the greatness of all the brothers, how united they are and how they are protecting each other. That's a great quality which is missing nowadays. And please do complete the course, whatever Mahodaya is starting.
Yes, actually, when you read Ramayana, you just keep reading.
Yes.
But only when you teach all this intricacies, it is now you when you read it again, it'll sink in some more.
Yes, that's true. Astu.
Astu, Mother. Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawad.
Meet again next week. Thank you.
Dhanyawad.